Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Let's start with our top story. Government of India has taken a historic decision to deregulate geospatial map making and unshackle the geospatial sector. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a series of tweets, said liberalizing policies governing the acquisition and production of geospatial data is a massive step for an Atmanirbhar Bharat. PM asserted that his government has taken a decision that will provide a huge impetus to digital India. PM also said the reforms will unlock tremendous opportunities for our country's startups, private sector, public sector and research institutions to drive innovations and build scalable solutions. This will also generate employment and accelerate economic growth. India's farmers will also be benefited by leveraging the potential of geospatial and remote sensing data. Democratizing data will enable the rise of new technologies and platforms that will drive efficiencies in agriculture and allied sectors. PM further said these reforms demonstrate our commitment to improve ease of doing business in India by deregulation. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh said that unshackling the geospatial sector would play a stimulating role for the space industry, as this sector is at core of cutting-edge technologies like 5G. Dr. Jitendra Singh also said maps and accurate geospatial data are crucial for national infrastructure projects such as linkages of rivers, creation of industrial corridors and deploying smart power systems. Geospatial data are an integral part of the modern digital ecosystem and critical for unlocking economic, social and environmental opportunities for sustainable growth and development of the country. Union Minister for Science and Technology Dr. Harshvardhan today unveiled the draft guidelines for the creation, acquisition, dissemination and use of geospatial data generated by various agencies. Speaking at the event, the minister said that geospatial data is also essential for traditional sectors of the economy. Dr. Harshvardhan said crowdsourcing efforts shall be encouraged by the government to build maps. He added that public funds should be used towards these efforts. Supreme Court issues notice to Facebook and WhatsApp, seeks their response on a plea challenging WhatsApp's latest privacy policy, which was introduced in January this year in India. It also sought responses from both the tech companies. Matter will be heard after 4 weeks. Union Minister for Textiles Smriti Irani today launched commercial jute seed distribution plan. Speaking at an event, the minister said the commercial jute seed distribution plan will benefit 5 lakh jute farmers of the country and their income will increase by 10,000 rupees per hectare. She said productivity of jute will increase by 15%. MSP on jute, which was 2,400 rupees in 2014-15, has been increased to 4,250 rupees in 2020-2021. In Uttarakhand, rescuers recovered 2 more bodies today morning from tunnel of NTPC power project in Chamoli district. So far, 53 bodies have been recovered. 151 people are still missing. Rescue and search operation for the missing persons continued whole night at Tapovan tunnel. Rescue teams have started recovering bodies from inside the main tunnel as well as from the Rishi Ganga power project site at Reni village. Almost all bodies have been identified. A Delhi court has issued a non-bailable warrant against Nikita Jacob and Shantanu, a close friend of Disha Ravi, arrested in the Twitter Toolkit campaign case. Premnath, Joint CP Cyber Cell, said many screenshots of the toolkit were available on open source and were investigated. When probe was able to fetch enough information, a search warrant was obtained from court on 9 Feb against Nikita Jacob, one of the editors of the toolkit Google Doc. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today presented the Best Marching Contingent Award of Republic Day Parade 2021. Best Marching Contingent among the 3 services was presented to JUTE Regimental Centre, while Best Marching Contingent among CAPF and other auxiliary forces was won by Delhi Police. Defence Minister congratulated all for performing splendidly on Republic Day. Japan's Nikkei 225 stock average topped 30,000 yen for the first time since August 1990. as it continued its charge back up through levels not seen since the collapse of the bubble economy. The gauge rose 1.9% to close at 30,084.15 today. Australia's 7 West Media became the country's first major news outlet to strike a licensing deal with Google today as the government pushes ahead, forcing the internet giant to pay media companies. 7, the main metro newspaper in Perth, said it would supply content for Google's news showcase platform. Dubai Airport's chief executive has warned today that it would be another tough year for Dubai International after passenger numbers have slid 70% in 2020. The airport handled 25.9 million passengers last year, mostly in the first quarter before the COVID-19 pandemic struck. ICRA has said improvement in cash flow generation coupled with moderation in capex intensity will limit the dependence on incremental external borrowings for operations. However, the addition of adjusted gross revenue liabilities to debt and the next round of spectrum auctions will act as a dampener. Vodafone Idea has fallen 2.39% to Rs 12.24 after the company reported a consolidated net loss of Rs 4,532.10 crore in Q3 financial year 2021 compared with a net loss of Rs 6,438.80 crore in Q3 financial year 2020. Net sales during the quarter fell by 1.7% year-on-year to Rs 10,891.60 crore. The SENSEX closed above the 52,000 mark for the first time on gains of 610 points or 1.18% at 52,154 levels. NSE's Nifty 50 hit a record high of 15,327 levels in the intraday trade before ending at 15,315 mark, up 151 points or 1%. Rupee gained 7 paise to close at 72.68 provisional against US dollar. Gold prices also ended 0.51% higher at Rs 47,318 per 10 grams for the week, in line with global peers despite of rupee. According to NASSCOM, the Indian information and technology industry's revenues are expected to grow 2.3% to USD 194 billion in the financial year 2021. India's total active case load currently stands at 1.39 lakh today. The active case load consists of 1.28% of India's total positive cases. 33 states and union territories have reported less than 5,000 active cases in the last 24 hours. Tripura and Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli currently have only 2 active cases each. Kerala, Maharashtra and Karnataka cumulatively account for 77% of India's total active cases. Kerala, Maharashtra together compose 74.72% of the total active cases. 18 states and union territories have not reported any deaths in the last 24 hours. 10 states and union territories have reported no deaths in the last week. As on 15 Feb till 8 am, the cumulative number of healthcare and frontline workers vaccinated against COVID-19 in the country has reached nearly 83 lakhs. 82,85,295 beneficiaries have been vaccinated through 1,73,729 sessions as per the provisional report till 8 am today. Also, the second dose of COVID-19 vaccination started on 13 Feb 2021 for those beneficiaries who have completed 28 days after receipt of the first dose. On day 30 of the vaccination drive on 14 Feb, a total of 21,437 beneficiaries received vaccination across 877 sessions, out of which 20,504 beneficiaries were vaccinated for first dose and 933 healthcare workers received second dose of the vaccine. 10 states account for 69% of the total beneficiaries vaccinated in India. Uttar Pradesh alone accounts for 10.4% beneficiaries. India's cumulative recoveries stand at 1.06 crore today. The recovery rate is 97.29%. 9,489 patients have recovered and discharged in the last 24 hours. 79.5% of the new recovered cases are observed to be concentrated in 6 states. Kerala has reported the maximum number of single-day recoveries with 4,692 newly recovered cases. 1,355 people recovered in Maharashtra in the past 24 hours, followed by 486 in Karnataka. 11,649 new daily cases have been recorded in the last 24 hours. 86.4% of the daily new cases are from 6 states. Kerala reports the highest daily new cases at 4,612. It is followed by Maharashtra with 4,092, while Tamil Nadu reported 470 new cases. 90 fatalities have been recorded in the last 24 hours. 6 states account for 80% of the daily deaths. Maharashtra saw the maximum casualties, composing nearly 44.4% of the daily deaths. Kerala follows with 15 daily deaths, and Tamil Nadu reported 6 casualties. The tally of COVID-19 cases worldwide has surpassed 10 crore 93 lakh. The total recoveries stand 8 crore 14 lakh. Virus has claimed over 24 lakh 11,000 lives globally. The US continues to remain the worst affected from COVID-19. Over 2 crore 82 lakh cases have been registered. The United States has started giving second dose of COVID-19 vaccine. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said that the country has administered 5 crore 28 lakh 84,356 doses of COVID-19 vaccines as of Sunday morning. As Mexico gears up to inoculate older adults in the next phase of its vaccination campaign, the country has started to receive a shipment of 8 crore 70,000 doses of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine from India on Sunday. The director of the US Centers for Disease Control said on Sunday that vaccinating teachers is not essential but recommended for reopening schools amid the coronavirus pandemic. Lebanon started its COVID-19 vaccination drive on Sunday by inoculating the head of critical care at its biggest public hospital, followed by 93-year-old celebrated Lebanese actor and comedian Salah Izani. Germany implemented temporary entry bans and border controls with areas of Czech Republic and Austria's Tyrol on Sunday after classifying them as virus mutation areas. About 200 gathered against anti-Semitism in Paris held a moment of silence on Sunday to mark the 15th anniversary of the murder and torture of a young Jew murdered in 2006. Lan Halimi was found naked, tortured and covered in burns near Paris on February 13, 2006 after being held captive for 3 weeks in a crime that shocked France and raised fears of surging anti-Semitism among French Muslims. He died of his injuries soon afterwards. As per the preliminary results in Kosovo parliamentary polls, anti-establishment party Vetvanzorj is set to win. The State Election Commission result, which was based on 46% of the votes counted, showed MEDVEDEV Jose is a lead with 48%. Polling for Catalonia's regional elections was held on Sunday. Voters queued wearing face masks and following social distancing exercised their franchise during the election that will test the strength of the Spanish region's pro-independence movement in an era now dominated by the coronavirus pandemic. Myanmar's ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi will be remanded in detention until Wednesday for a court hearing. A group of protesters held a prayer in Yangon on Sunday for Myat Twate Khaing, a teenager who was shot in the head when police cracked down on a protest against the military coup. Google Ireland and Google France have agreed to pay a $1.34 million fine after a probe found that Google's hotel rankings could be misleading for consumers. The ministry and watchdog also said in that Google has amended its hotel rankings practices since September 2019. In Brazil, Rio's Sambadrome will be lit up every night to honor COVID-19 victims. The lighting show will be set off every night at midnight until February 23rd. Also, NASA's Mars rover Perseverance, which is a robotic astrobiology lab packed inside a space capsule, will hit the final stretch of its 7-month journey from Earth this week. It is set to emit a radio alert as it streaks into the thin Martian atmosphere. Britain's Prince Harry and his wife Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are expecting their second child. Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties in January 2020 and moved with their first son Archie to Southern California. Taking a breather from the dull energy of the coronavirus pandemic, hundreds of people yesterday were seen dancing and skating on a frozen lake in Amsterdam, defying the coronavirus restrictions on gathering. In Germany, the famous Rosenmontag parade carnival is a serious matter. Decorated floats and people in costumes walk through the city, throwing sweets to the crowds. Carnival organizers called for people to recreate the parade amid pandemic. Fashion enthusiasts turn to their screens to see the latest designer trends this Fashion Week as the traditional autumn-winter catwalk calendar kicked off virtually in New York from yesterday. Japanese fashion designer Tadashi Shoji looked to armor-inspired metallics embellishments for his autumn-winter 2021 designs, presenting an array of elaborate dresses on the first day of a virtual New York Fashion Week. And Dutch skaters seized their last chance to take to the ice on some of the country's most picturesque canals on Sunday as weather forecasters predicted a thaw. Sub-zero temperatures have provided perfect conditions for skating in the Netherlands, which has a long tradition of this sport. Russian winter swimmers enjoyed icy waters of the Moskva River in Moscow. Swimmers plunged into a narrow channel cut into the frozen river. According to them, their usual routine includes winter running and snow bathing, which helps to build body and character. 6 Syrian brown bears ran into the mountains of Duhok in Iraq after Kurdish animal right activists released them. The bears were released into the wild as part of a ceremony organized by the Kurdish American Cooperation Organization, a local charity that has set rescued bears free before as well. And in a beautiful celestial event yesterday, a falling meteor gave people in Melbourne a sight to behold as it lit up the skies across the city. A bright flare was seen near Manhattan Tower in Melbourne's central business district as the meteor burned up upon entering Earth's atmosphere. And in Brazil, the traditional PEGULA carnival took place in Madureira in Rio de Janeiro, with revelers beating the floor with plastic balls. People still celebrated the carnival amid strict pandemic restrictions against the carnival. Japanese women took to the streets to dance during an event inspired by Global 1 Billion Rising campaign, a mass action to end violence against women, with Kutu anti-high heels campaigner Yumi Ishikawa joining the team. Around 125 breeds of canines ruled at a dog show in India, giving families a chance to explore various varieties of breeds and also enhance the people's affection for the animals. Breeds like Poodles, Siberian Husky, German Golden Retriever, Labrador Retriever, Cocker Spaniels, Pomeranian, Crossbreed and Dalmatian were among others, were the main stealers of hearts at the show. All India Chess Federation is planning to bid for Chess Olympiad and commencing a high-profile Indian chess league soon. The chess body is also planning for the effective setup for chess in schools and chess league. India completely dominated day 3 of the second test despite losing 5 wickets in the first session. Turn-up Ravichandran Ashwin and Virat Kohli took the game away from England's reach. Ravichandran Ashwin cherished surpassing his former India teammates' number of test wickets in the country. With 26 scalps, Ashwin is now only behind spin legend and accumulates 350 wickets in home tests. Having lost 3 early wickets, England need 429 more runs against India on day 4 of the ongoing second test match to win. Pakistan clinched a 4-wicket win over South Africa in the third and final T20. With this victory, Pakistan became first men's team in international cricket to win 100 T20 matches in this format. Pakistan has played 164 T20 internationals so far. Australian Open now. Rafael Nadal defeated Fabio Fognini to cruise into the quarterfinals of the Australian Open with a 6-3, 6-4, 6-2 win. Stefanos TSITSIPAS got a walkover into a quarterfinal against Rafael Nadal. 9th seed Matteo Berrettini pulled out of his 4th round Australian Open clash because of an abdominal strain. Also, Ashleigh Barty made light of the challenge of unseeded American Shelby Rogers with a commanding 6-3, 6-4 victory to reach the quarterfinals of the Australian Open for the 3rd year in a row on Monday. Daniel Medvedev beat American Mackenzie McDonald 6-4, 6-2, 6-3 to cruise into the quarterfinals with his 18th consecutive victory. Medvedev will face compatriot Andrei Rublev in the last 8. 7-seed Rublev was leading 6-2, 7-6 when his Norwegian opponent Casper Ruud retired with an injury. American Jessica Pegula produced a shock win to knock out 5th seed Elina Svitolina 6-3, 3-6, 6-3 on Rod Laver Arena to reach the last 8 of a Grand Slam for the first time. Jessica Pegula will now face fellow American Jennifer Brady, who beat Croatia's Donna Vekic 6-1, 7-5. Bruno Fernandes's stunning volley salvaged a point for Manchester United at struggling West Brom, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side lost further ground in the Premier League title race. Aubameyang thanked Arsenal for helping him through a tough period after his hat-trick led the Gunners to a convincing win over Leeds at Emirates Stadium. Manchester City extended their winning run to 15 games and their lead at the top of the Premier League to 7 points as they easily defeated Tottenham at Etihad Stadium in EPL encounter. Lionel Messi and Francisco Trincao scored twice as Barcelona beat Alaves for a 7th successive La Liga win. Bayern Munich have signed defender Dayot Upamecano from RB Leipzig, with the French centre-back set to join the European champions in July before the 2021-2022 season. Williams driver George Russell won his 6th successive virtual Formula 1 Grand Prix, while Haas took the team title ahead of Ferrari. Russian Dinar Valiyev was crowned FIM Ice Speedway Gladiators World Championship champion in Togliatti, Russia, following a dramatic final that saw 2016 winner and series leader Dmitry Khometsevich crash out. As we race towards the release on March 18th of Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max, expect the marketing blitz from Warner Brothers to kick into high gear. Yesterday, a bit of that reared its head with a big trailer for the film. Hollywood star Ryan Reynolds celebrated the 5th anniversary of his superhero franchise, Deadpool, by sharing a lost fan letter. The actor shared the letter dated March 10, 2016, penned by a fan named Hunter. Netflix released Namaste Valhalla on Valentine's Day, a movie that merges two of the world's biggest film industries, Bollywood and Nollywood. The film's title translates in Hindi and Nigerian Pidgin as Hello Trouble. Bollywood veteran actor Ranbir Kapoor turned 74 today. Kapoor, son of legendary actor Raj Kapoor, made his acting debut at the age of 8 with 420 and later got established him as a leading actor in the success of Jawani Diwani, JUTE and Rampur Ka Lakshman in the early 70s. Well, that's all we have in Express News. Stay tuned for more news and updates.